After the long winter break, the British Historic Rally Championship returns to the stages. Rally North Wales, the first of 7 events this season, including a popular return to the Ulster Rally. Winner of last year's Rally North Wales, Nick Elliott, leads the Category 3 crews away this weekend. Joe Price returns meanwhile, with hopes of better luck this season after, it's fair to say, a mixed bag in 2018. And we have a host of new and returning names in the championship this season. In short, it's looking good. On to the stages then in North Wales, and it would be the early lead for Nick Elliott and Dave Price. They make no secret of preferring the wet conditions, something that this round was surprisingly lacking. But despite that, the pair were still putting in times that would count on these dry stages this weekend. A bit of a dodgy tyre choice would start the day off on the wrong foot for Joe Price and Chris Brooks though. The tyres too soft, not lasting as long as they needed. They do, however, put in some good times nevertheless, ending the morning with 2nd place and still fighting hard. Ben Friend and Cliff Simmons step up into the D5 class this season. A new car for the pair, and they would need to get used to the extra power as well. Regular leaders, of course, of the D3 class in the past. This season, they had their eyes on the overall prize. 3rd place for the pair at the midpoint in the rally. It had been a long rebuild before the start of the season, and it would give Alan Walker and Will Rogers a reason to be a little cautious through the opening stage, not at all wanting all that hard work to be for nothing. They make a good, strong start though, with 4th place on the leaderboard in the category. And it would be a long-awaited return to the gravel for Rob Smith and Alan Cook. They did compete on one event this season as a test. But prior to that, it was 2013 that the pair turned a wheel on the loose stuff. Clearly, things were going well though, despite their absence. 5th place for now. It hadn't been quite as long for Adrian Hetherington and Ronan O'Neill, but they hadn't driven the car for a year prior to this. So they too were having to settle in, and they had some rally driver excuses ready with that time out of the seat. They make a mistake though on the early stages, stalling the car and losing themselves a handful of time in the process. It would be a steady start for Steve Bennett and Ocean Owen, bedding themselves into the new season, lacking a bit of commitment out there on the stages, but that would surely change through the afternoon. 7th place for now. A spin on one of the first corners would be an early wake-up call for James Slaughter and Jamie Edwards. The first event of the year for this pairing, and they were going to need to tidy things up for the rest of the day if they were to make any advance on the leaderboard. Meanwhile, a minute's penalty for a jump start had already set Simon Webster and Jez Rogers off on the back foot. They were going well on the stages though, happy enough with the pace and with that start that they'd made in 9th place despite the penalty. Rounding out our top 10 leaderboard at this stage were Rudy Lancaster and Guy Weaver. Not where they wanted to be, of course, but a double puncture in the 3rd stage of the day would see them losing a big chunk of time and dropping them as a result down that leaderboard. It will be a strong start in the D3 class for Josh Brown and Jane Edgington. They make a few small mistakes through the opening stage, but after a scrappy start, it was all going to plan to hold the class lead. David Lloyd Roberts and Di Jones joined the championship in their Escort. 2nd in the D3 class for the pair at this stage and enjoying the conditions out there. And for Ron Morgan and Tudor Jenkins, it would be 3rd in that class. A little way off the crews up ahead, but still going strong and definitely in the hunt as we look forward to the afternoon stages. Just the one crew this weekend in the D2 class. So that lead for now, of course these stages are tricky even if you're only fighting against the clock, would go to Malcolm and Ron Mounsey. Rounding out the results overall here too. So we are midway through Rally North Wales, the first round of the British Historic Rally Championship, and the leaderboard at the top of Category 3 looks like this.
Nick, we're at the halfway point of Rally North Wales and you're in absolutely prime position here in the British Historic Rally Championship. You're leading the crews away with 4 stages to go. You've had a good day so far.
It's been okay. I've been a little bit off ultimate pace, I think, and on dry rallies I think I did prefer it wet, but there's plenty of good people behind, and yeah, could do with a few more seconds really for the afternoon, so I am always better in the morning, so it's all to do really.
Joe, halfway through Rally North Wales and second place in BHRC as it stands. You happy with that?
Very happy with that, yeah. I'm just glad to be here, to be honest. No, good morning, just the wrong tyre choice. You were just on softs, way too soft. And I only took 2 out. I thought they'd last all morning and they haven't, so I probably dropped a bit of time with that. But apart from that, we had one sort of half spin, but apart from that, it's been clean.
Let's head out onto those afternoon stages then, and there would be no change from Malcolm and Ron Mounsey. They do, of course, take the D2 class win, rounding out the finishers in our championship. And there'd be no change in the D3 class either. Ron Morgan and Tudor Jenkins happy to get to the finish and take 3rd place in the class. Everything would go to plan as well for David Lloyd Roberts and Di Jones. They have fun out there on the stages, even if it was a bit dusty, and they reached the end of the rally with 2nd place in the D3 class. On to the top 10 then, and it would be that 10th place finish for Jerry Bailey and Sinclair Young, the pair taking 8th in the very popular D5 class. It was a misfire in the first stage of the afternoon loop, setting Simon Webster and Jez Rogers back a little. They weren't sure what the problem was. Eventually, it sorted itself out. Don't you hate those kind of problems on a rally car? But it would, unfortunately, lose the pair about a minute overall. They end the rally with, in the end, a frustrating 9th place. It would be a good end to the rally, though, for Josh Brown and Jane Edgington. They do enough to take the D3 class victory. They might have wanted to be a little further up the overall results, but they will be happy with this finish for the opening round of the season. Some good points on the board for that championship campaign. There was a bit of confusion setting in through the afternoon, though, for this pair, Rudy Lancaster and Guy Weaver. They felt that the times were getting quicker in the afternoon, but strangely, the leaderboard shows they were getting slower. That could have been a result of the stage changing for the 2nd pass. In any case, the pair come away with the G2 class win this weekend and 7th on the leaderboard. Things were starting to progress nicely, though, for Steve Bennett and Ocean Owen into the afternoon stages. They pick up the pace, getting a good feeling in the car, and they end the rally with 6th place overall. It could have gone either way, but the return to the historic car for Adrian Hetherington and Ronan O'Neill had gone about as well as anyone could have expected this weekend. They get to the end of the rally with 5th, and considering that time lost in the morning, it wasn't a bad result to start off the season with. The same could be said for this man, Rob Smith, Alan Cook alongside. They blow the cobwebs off good and proper through the afternoon, making sure that they end the rally just outside our podium places in the category. 4th place overall. And the debut in the new car would go well for Ben Friend and Cliff Simmons. It wasn't without its issues today. They do lose a handful of seconds with a fuel pump issue through the afternoon stages, but crucially, it didn't affect that podium position, the pair taking 3rd place on their debut in this class. Another pair of smiles at the end of this rally, Joe Price and Chris Brooks, not least because they got to the finish, something that hadn't always come easily for the pair in the past season. They take 2nd place in the BHRC this weekend and start off their season the way they intend it to go, I'm sure. But taking a convincing victory this weekend would be Nick Elliott and Dave Price. They miss out on the overall event win to Ocean Price, but maximum points for the championship was what they came here to achieve. And they do achieve it as well, doing enough to take those from the opening round and start off their account, as far as the championship points are concerned, the best possible way. So confirmation then of the times in the category at the end of an unusually warm and dry, dusty Rally North Wales.
Nick, overall win here at Rally North Wales last year, BHRC win this year. You're on good form.
Yeah, it's come good. I did pick up my game a bit this afternoon, and that's paid off. I mean, we started off with the intention just to meet first BHRC, and we got that, but it was a tough one. You know, I'm not keen on the dusty conditions, but I had to really wake up this afternoon, get some motivation and go for it, and it's just about paid off, I hope.
Competition in the BHRC is as tough as it always has been. You've got to watch from every side. Young Joe Price behind you there, he's certainly on form. It's going to be a big year, I think.
Yeah, I've been against Joe over the years in various cars, and yeah, I knew he'd be close today. You know, when one drops away, somebody else comes in, and there's always loads of people, you know, behind you chasing you. So yeah, which it needs. We need the competition. It needs some different winners, but yeah, I think that will happen this year.
Joe, we're here at the finish of Rally North Wales, second BHRC here, and you got to be happy with that. You've had some rotten luck recently.
I am happy with it, and because we weren't out much last year, nor the year before really, and it was nerve-wracking this morning. I was glad we got somewhere near the pace, and then we can build on this now.
Yeah, there's plenty more to come from you as well, I'm sure. It's been a long time out of the car since you've had a really solid run as well. So yeah, by the time we get to the end of the year, you're going to be on full.
You've got to do. I think you've got to try and, after 2 or 3 rallies, you automatically get faster without really even trying. It just comes easier. So that's what we've got to aim for.